So last year, Eric Adams had all of his phone's disease as he was... Phone's disease? I take that again. Last year...
he got phone's disease?
We've all kind of got phone's disease in a way.
Let me take that again.
In a lot of ways.
Last year...
If we keep making jokes about phone's disease, they can't cut it.
That's true. It's going to have to stay in.
It's going to have to stay.
Yeah, the disease of the phone.
Jesus. Last year...
Fundraiser for phone's disease sufferers.
Yeah, I mean, the phone banking for that was kind of a double-edged sword. It was traumatic for the people doing it.
Oh my God.
Last year, federal agents seized Adams' phone. Are you happy?
Taking my phone out to you.
Hello.
Are you,
Hello,
are
sir.
you
Would
happy?
you like to donate to phone's disease? But be fucking quick about it. We're both at risk.
Riley, what were you saying?
Right. Last year,
Are you okay?
Last year, the
Something wrong with your
FBI
phone?
seized Adams' phone as he was leaving an event in Manhattan, related to an allegation that he was acting as an agent of the Turkish government without registering.
Well, after all the times that he said that New York City is the Ankara of America, you know?
Yeah. Well, Eric Adams denied that he was an agent of the Turkish government while offering the NYPD officer his phone and then taking it away again and then presenting it to him and then dropping it behind his back and holding it under his leg.
I mean, the thing about New York City is that in many ways it is the Ankara of the United States in that it involves a lot of Turkish government corruption, I guess.
So the it going on with Eric Adams basically seems to be, as we've said, that his chief lawyer resigned because she was like...
He's been doing every kind of corruption at once, is why.
Yeah, and everyone around him is also doing every kind of corruption.
Yeah, so he says, anytime something happens in this city, people call for me to leave, but why am I supposed to listen to them now? I was elected by the people of this city, and I'm going to continue to meet my obligations to the people of this city.
God. You were elected by accident, my man, because people didn't understand ranked choice and thought that you had to put every candidate down because it was the first time they ever did it. That's why you're the mayor. You tripped and fell from your house in New Jersey into being mayor. Motherfucker.
So, the homes that were raided include First Deputy Mayor Sheena Wright, Deputy Mayor Philip Banks, Schools Chancellor David Banks, who have investigators have also issued a subpoena to Terrence Banks, the youngest of the Banks brothers, who ran a lobbying firm that advertised, quote,
well, if it isn't the Banks brothers.
Yeah.
He does employ a lot of brothers. Like there was a whole show with the police commissioner that the problem was his brother also. This guy loves criminal brothers. He's just always looking for them.
in a very literal sense.
Yeah. He heard something about like the 5 families, and he's like, oh, families. I need brothers.
We need to run a brotherocracy.
I need sets of brothers to do corruption with each other near me.
7 crimes for 7 brothers.
7 crimes for 7 brothers. There it is.
Let's fucking go.
Let's go. It's really good. It's really good.
Thank you. Yeah.
Terrence Banks, the youngest Banks brother, ran a lobbying firm that advertised, quote, government relations and promised to help private sector clients navigate New York's intricate infrastructure and political landscape. We know what that means, right? We know what that means.
Yeah, of course.
Which is like, hey, I'm going to call the other Banks brothers and I'm going to say, hey, my buddy is trying to open a restaurant, help him out. But there's more. And no charges have been leveled yet, crucially, but also 2 former fire department chiefs were arrested. And then when asked about this, allegedly for providing preferential treatment to people and companies that needed fire safety approval and inspections for the FDNY, if they would sign up for their consulting, their friend or brother who ran a consulting firm.
You have subscribed to FDNY Plus, you know?
Yeah, sort of like a racket of you. They'll protect you if you pay into their quotes racket.
Somewhere up in Roman heaven, Crassus is smiling.
Yeah, otherwise it'll set you on fire. Yeah, that's right.
Brian Cordasco and Anthony Saccavino. So yeah, Roman heaven, really, for sure.
Yeah, really, Roman heaven.
And then Eric Adams' defense against this was, oh no, that corruption started under a previous administration.
I inherited it. Is that illegal?
But the funny thing is, though, remember, in Britain, this is just policy. This is just allowed.
Yeah.
Also, the other one, you mentioned the Caban brothers, Mattie.
Caban, yeah.
Yeah, again, they also seized the Caban brothers' electronic. They're twins also, more twins.
They raided the Caban brothers' secret cabana at the Copacabana.
And again, allegations that James Caban was exploiting his connections to the commissioner in service of a nightlife business venture. Finally, another one is Adams denied the existence of a deputy mayor for operations list outlining construction projects to be fast-tracked, which apparently is the centerpiece.
Before you got to list, I thought he was denying the existence of a whole subordinate, which I thought was a really funny bit to be this guy who's all the corruption's been going through, I don't know who he is. We don't have a guy like that, you know?
No.
Deputy mayor? Never heard of him.
The fast track construction stuff was also some of the stuff with the Turks. I think. I'm pretty sure.
Plausible.
This appears to be, right, like everyone around Eric Adams is getting arrested. And he did a press conference recently on his like mayoral report card.
That's not a real thing, Eric Adams. You don't have those.
F.
And mostly it's him being like, yeah, we've like created a lot of amazing jobs. Like, look at this. We started all these Who wants to ask me about the jobs we've created, the educational opportunities that we've opened up?
I want to ask him about the time that an FBI agent just like brushed past his security detail, got in his SUV and subpoenaed his phone. That's the thing I want to ask him about.
Yeah, I mean, that's creating a job in a lot of ways for an FBI agent is a project.
But then the people at this like, management report and this transcript were just saying like, hey, is there a corruption list? And he says, okay, well, let me go back to the DMO list. I'm going to have this list you're talking about. I'm going to have the deputy mayor communicate. And if you looked at the wording of the indictment, these actions started in 2021. And from what I read, it was a brief reading, they stated that was the terminology the FDNY used. We stated it again, and we will state it again. This administration did not have a list named like that. And we made that clear, and we stand by that.
There's nothing under the title corruption.docx. So...
yeah. As the question was asked, why are you doing this? We want New Yorkers to know that this administration is working hard for them and producing real results. And when things happen to administration, the real question is, do you have the ability to stay focused and provide the services the city is expecting? Yes, we do that every day.
That's not true.
So it's like, hey, is there a corruption list? Is there a corruption list? And he's like, no. And the real question is, how are you doing such good mayoring while we're bothering you with these questions?
And not to go on a whole fucking another rant about this, but like he's also a bad mayor, like functionally. Like he doesn't understand the city or how it works. He does a really bad job. Like a little tiny significant this is recently, there are all these like great dining sheds all over the city that got built during lockdown and stayed on forever. And it was great for like street culture, got rid of a bunch of parking. So there's less cars around. People are just like hanging out on the street and they passed like new laws about it. And now they tore down all the and it was like, and he framed it as like, we're going to make it better. And it basically got rid of all the dining sheds. And now you can't even have like sidewalk seating for most cafes. So like he just has no clue how to be the mayor of New York City. So like he's not even like there's nothing holding his administration together. Like it's all like even if he wasn't being arrested 45 times a day or indicted 45, like even if he was not being chased around by the FBI constantly and everyone he knows resigning and quitting and being forced out, he would also just like his approval rating would also be just in the absolute shitter because he cannot run the city in any way because his brain is melting out of his fucking ears.
I was going to say on the upside, Mattie, he does on almost every day say a sentence that's never been said before by another human apart from possibly the Duolingo owls, such as I'm going to launch a war on rats.
So another reporter asks, 2 Italian chiefs from the fire department were indicted on charges of accepting $190,000 worth of bribes. I wonder if this is the kind of case that undermines the public's confidence in your administration. It is the kind of thing that maybe led to this press conference, to which Eric Adams says, it didn't lead to this press conference. We had the press conference to show the work we're doing. But I want to go back because I think this is what happens when action is taken during the administration. People rarely look and see what's going well.
Yeah, no one's asking me about fucking National Rat Day, are they?
Yeah, another reporter asked, I wanted to ask about your chief lawyer's resignation. Did she advise you to begin clearing house? And as we begin to go through this, there's numerous federal investigations. Are you going to try to protect yourself? To which he answers, first and foremost, you guys have heard me say it over and over again. I don't go into private conversations I have with people. Little did I know that when Lisa came on board, the chief counsel, not only is her professionalism, but that we were going to develop a friendship like we did. I like Lisa a lot. And she's made it clear that, Eric, I'm here for you. That even though I'm not part of the administration, feel free to reach out with me and communicate with me. Which to me basically seems like he's saying, don't worry, she's still implicated. She's going to come down. If I go down, she's coming down too.
Looking directly at the camera and being like, Lisa, it's National Rat Day.
Final question.
Have you seen my beautiful generals?
So are you looking to clear house to protect yourself with these numerous federal investigations? To which Mayor Adams says, I'm looking to continue to do what I'm doing, which is produce for New Yorkers. And I think that when I communicated with previous mayors, they all said, Eric, there's going to be moments that are going to be distracting you from doing this job. This is a big city, and there are so many things that will happen.
That's so true, honestly.
It's so true, bestie.
Yeah.
I don't disagree.
This is a big city, so a couple hundred people in the administration are going to have their phones seized for the FBI. The fire chiefs are going to drive Lamborghinis for some reason. That's New York, baby. It's like New York's a character in the story that's my life.
Guys, there's 8 million stories in the naked city. That's not my problem. You know,
some of them are crime stories.
Yeah, so a lot of all the ones kind of like there's like a hot spot on the map around me that are crime stories for sure, and it moves around with me for absolutely.